Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I'm participating in the Happy June a Ween collaboration, which is hosted by my very good friend Annie from Crafting with Indie Annie Jones. Today I'm going to be doing 3 Glam Halloween projects. My first project is these witches shoes that I made many years ago. The glitter is coming off, as you can see, and I just don't really like them anymore. I want to do them a little more blingy, so I'm going to be ripping everything off. This is just some cardboard that I had duct taped on to the shoes. And I did get these shoes at the thrift store, so they do not fit me, so I could not wear these anyway. I'm going to leave the heel alone, I think, but I got to get all this ripped off. All right, I have everything ripped off. You can see I'm going to go ahead and get things painted because I painted this orange, and I also did some purple down at the bottom, just taking my black paint. And I'm going to be painting everything on here except for the heel. And I'm probably going to have to do a couple coats. I'm going to go ahead and get these painted up, and then I'm going to turn them into witch shoes again. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take some of my Crayola Model Magic, and what I've done here is I've done this little curly Q on the toe and just this kind of a upside down heart design that I came up with for the back of the heel area. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the other one done, and the hardest part is trying to make these look exactly like the other shoe. That is the hardest part for me when I'm doing 2 shoes and I'm using the clay. So I'm going to do my very best to get this to look the same. Need a little bit more here. Let's go ahead and build up the sides. And yes, you're probably wondering why I did go ahead and paint it, because I wanted to go ahead and have a better surface for my clay to stick to, because that had like the duct tape on it, so it was a little bit sticky in some spots. All right, so I'm going to continue to work on this shoe and try to make it look almost exactly like the other one. All right, so here I have it done, and like I said, it doesn't look exactly like it, but it is pretty darn close to looking like it. Now I'm going to have to let all of this dry, and once it's dry, I'll be painting all of this black again, because I do feel like the shoe does need just one more coat itself. All right, so here everything is painted. I left the buckle gold for right now, but I may be changing that later. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be dazzling these up. I have all these little self-adhesive rhinestones, but sometimes they don't stick very well. So I'm going to just be using some of my Mod Podge here just to help it out, because the size of these is just too hard to try to hot glue, and you'd have so many of the spider web things all over the place. So I do find this to be a little bit easier, but you have to be extra careful with putting these shoes away if you're going to use them for decor, because they can pop off still. So what I'm doing now is I'm just doing a straight line at the back of the shoe going all the way up, and then I will work on each side after that. So let me go ahead and get some more of these little rhinestones on. I'm trying to keep them as straight as possible too. It's not very easy to do on the shoes. All right, so I do have a few rows done here. You can see I'm just taking it from there, and you can see I have this line here that I'm going to follow with them, and then I'll take smaller rhinestones and go along that side right there. Again, I'm going to be using the Mod Podge, and these are the next size down. Oops, they do like to fall off. And I'm just going to stick them really close together and go along that curve right there. See, these are a little more difficult to do because they are a lot smaller and they kind of want to stick to my finger. All right, let's go ahead and get this whole side done here really quick. And then I can get the rest of the shoe done. And you can see that I need to fill in some spots here, and I'm going to be using the small rhinestones to do that. So I have all those in there so it looks a little bit fuller now. I'm going to get this other side done. There we go. Got that done. Now I want to add some of that bigger size in here. I'm just going to be starting in the very top, and I'm going to work my way along the edges. And I already did the other shoe, so I know what I'm doing here, but I have to tell you, the first shoe took me quite a while to do, and the second shoe is so much quicker because I figured out how I wanted to do everything by then. So these really don't take too long to do by putting them on, you know, one by one. All right, now that that is all done, I have decided to paint the buckle, and I'm using this brushed metal paint, and this one is called brushed silver. And you know, sometimes it's hard to keep everything on the buckle, but you know, you just go back over if you hit the shoe with the black, no big deal. So I'm probably going to have to do 2 or 3 coats on here. I did paint it black first so that the silver would not need too many coats because it can be a little bit thin when you're using the metallic paints. So once this is dry, I'm going to be working on these little jewels. I love the way these look. I'm going to be putting these on without any extra help. They are a little bit more stickier, and they do like to stick to itself and to your fingers. They are a little difficult to work with sometimes. And I'm just going to press this one on here, like so. And this one got a little stuck there. Like I said, I'm just going to pull that off. No big deal. That looks fine. Okay, and I also put some more over here on this side. And I did cut that one piece off of the bigger one, like right there. And I'm going to use the other piece of it over here on this side. Again, you just have to be very careful working with these. They tend to, when you try to pull them off of the sheet here, they want to like just stick to each other. And sometimes they break off too, but that's okay. You can just piece it back together if it does break off. All right, decided I'm not going to use that piece. At least not right now. Let me go ahead and get this one on here, figure out where I want it, and get the rest of it finished. Okay, so this is what I decided to do on this side, and that side is done. Next, I have this curly silver metallic ribbon that fits just perfectly right here. I'm just going to barely hot glue it on, just really thin pieces of hot glue here, and just lightly push it down because, as you can see, it has holes in it. So just going to follow along the side of the shoe. Just keep kind of twisting it and get it to curve correctly. All right, I'm going to continue doing this and then we'll be on to the next step. Okay, I just wanted to show you that I did decide to do this little section here and on the back here, and I put some bigger rhinestones there. Now I'm going to use those same size rhinestones, and this time I'm going to use my hot glue. So I want to make sure that they stick. Just going to put a little bit of hot glue on it, and I'm going to go along the strap here where the buckle is, just on this side only, and work my way back. All right, now that I have that done, I have one of these buttons that I got from Hobby Lobby. I cut the little back off, and I'm just going to hot glue it on the very end there. Just adding some more bling. There we go. Okay, now I have my black raven feathers here that I'm going to hot glue on. I'm going to do it in 2 pieces. I want the middle part here to be a little bit thicker, so I put a small piece here. Then I have a piece that is cut to size that I'm going to put behind it. I think this looks so cute. And I just need one more little piece right here. Seems a little thin. Okay, let's get that glued on. And I think I'm going to put one more over here. Okay. Now I want to put something from the little curlicue. So what I have are these little beads here, my little blingy beads. I can say that right. Just going to take some really thin wire. I'm going to twist the end over a little bit so it will hold. I'm going to string them on here. And I'm decided to put just a little bit of hot glue on there so they will stick as I'm doing this, because I found before that this kind of moves around on you. And it's not like I'm making a necklace or a bracelet out of this. Alright, so now that I have everything on here, I'm going to cut it really short. Since this is foam clay, I can just stick this up into the clay part. I want to make sure it's short enough that it's not going to go through. And if I can get it to stick. It's not cooperating with me. Oh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and put some hot glue on here and push it in and hold it. Okay, there we go. Oops, yeah, did not stick. Let's try that again. One more time. And get this glue off of here now. Let's just push it up here and see if it'll stay. There we go. All right, let's see how the shoes look together. And there they are. I just want everybody to know that there is a giveaway with this collaboration. It is for a $50 Amazon gift card. It's for US only. All you need to do to get entered is comment on each video in the playlist. I will have the playlist link down below in my description box along with all the rules. And just to let you know that the entries end on June 15th and the winner will be announced on June 16th. So let's get started on my next project. I am going to be making a crystal ball. Now I have this candle holder that I thought would be the perfect base for one. I'm using an old spool here for ribbon because I need to lift it up a little bit. I'm going to use a mold here with my clay, and I'm using this clear ornament that pieces together because I'm going to put lights inside of here. And I think it is the perfect size for this candle holder. Now, the first thing I want to do is start working on the top of that spool. And I'm just taking a piece of my clay and I'm making it thin. I want to cover this up because you are going to be seeing some of this. I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and try to cut it to size here the best I can, as I can see. It's going to go around it. And I think I'm just going to do this. I'm going to kind of indent it. It is kind of hard to see this way, and just do this. Here we go. This is much easier. Pull off the excess. I'm going to set it on the top here because I did make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to roll it out just a little bit more. And I'm going to kind of put it on the sides here to kind of go down along the edge. And get it all smoothed out. Alright, so this is the one mold that I want to use. I just have my clay that I'm going to push in. And unfortunately this does not fit around the spool all the way, so I do have to make one little small piece to make it all fit. Just going to get this pushed down. All right, let's go ahead and pop it out. All right, so that is what I'm using. And I did add that little piece there. And I'm going to go ahead and get it glued on while it is still wet. Not really wet, but it's not dry yet. It is an air dry clay. It's just easier to work it this way, and then I can let it dry. I'm just using hot glue only. And it looks like I had just a little bit too much there, so let's get that cut. All right, get that pushed in. Okay, looks really pretty. Now I need to do something because I got to put the ball here in the middle. So I want to build that up just a little bit, and I did just with some few pieces of clay. And I'm thinking about putting some of this bead pearl trim around there. I'm going to go ahead and see. That looks good. All right, the next thing I need to do is paint all of this black. Just going to use black paint. And I know I'm definitely going to have to use 2 coats on here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this painted up, and then I can start working on the crystal ball itself. All right, now that I have this all done, I'll set this aside. And what I've done here is I started to use some of my silver paint here. And it is a metallic paint called Silver Sterling. And I'm just using my stencil brush, just putting some in here, and I'm just going to be tapping it along. Just going to pull some over here and tap it. And you might be hearing some rain in the background here because I'm doing an aeration, and it is like starting to storm here as I'm doing this today. It's kind of hailing a little bit. All right, so I think I want to add a little bit more on this side. I was trying to make this look a little more misty inside than perfectly clear because I'm going to be putting some of those little fairy lights inside. You don't want to see all the strings necessarily. All right, there they are. Now I'm going to be using that same metallic paint, and I'm just going to be dry brushing it all over the black. And I'm just going to go really lightly at first, and then I'm going to keep adding some more to it. I think this is looking really pretty so far. It's like the perfect touch to it. I thought about using white, but I thought the silver would look much better. All right, so here it is. It's all done. I think this is so gorgeous. Now let's get that crystal ball on. All right, so here are my lights that I'm going to use. I'm just going to bunch them up, try to get them in here. Yeah, all the way in, and I'm going to push that little wire down at the bottom and try to get the other side on without everything popping out. Not as easy to do. Let's see if I can get this pushed together. All right, and the next thing I'm going to do is add some pearls to the base. So I have this strand of pearls here that I'm going to be hot gluing down below, and I'm going to do some underneath the ball itself. So I'm going to get all my pearls on, and then we'll see how this looks. Ooh, it's all done. I'm ready to tell you your fortune. There. I think I'm going to add a few more pearls in here, and you know what? I think I also want to add some feathers. It might cover up some of the pearls, but you know, I'm kind of going on a feather theme here, and you'll see in my last project what I'm doing with the feathers. So let's see how it turned out. So here it is. I just added a few of those black raven feathers. Now on to the last project. So I am taking this little cutting board thing, you know, decorative thing that I got from Dollar Tree a few years ago. I want to use this as the base of a witch hat. I'm going to be making a witch hat. So I'm going to be painting this black, and I'm going to be taking a styrofoam cone to use as the top of my witch hat. So I'm probably going to have to do quite a few coats on here, and I'll be doing the front and the back. And the side that has all the glue on there is the one that I'm going to use with the cone. So I do want to get this painted black also. And after I got to looking at it, I didn't like it straight up. So I took some of my clay and I've added a little bit of height to it, and I am bringing it down. I like it to be curved down because I'm actually going to dangle something from this. So I'm just going to keep building this up here with my clay. And make sure I get it shaped right. I've got to make sure that it has a lot of thickness up here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this finished up. Okay, so here's this. And that's going to be the bottom. This is going to be the top because you can see the glue. And I actually took a piece of wire and stuck in here just so it will stay in. And you can see I made it go really, really far down. And I did angle this off just a little bit because I want it to look crooked. I can't get that effect using wood here. And I'm not a sewer, so I kind of wanted to show you how to make a witch hat without doing any kind of sewing. But I'm still going to be adding some lace to this. All right, so what I need to do is get this glued on first so I can work with this. I'm going to go ahead and leave the wire the length it is right now and then figure out what I need to do later to get it the size that I need. And I am just going to be taking some E6000. I'm going to be putting a bunch of this on here on the bottom. All right, and I'm also going to be taking some hot glue and getting that on there too. And I'm just going to stick that here. Try to hold it on here. All right, that got all dry, and I also took some more black paint on there, and when it was wet, I took some of my silver paint and stippled it on, and I kind of like the effect of this. The reason I did this is because I am using some of this black lace. It is a table runner that I got from the Dollar Tree last year, and it has the spider webs on it, and I wanted you to be able to see this. So that's why I have the silver color underneath so that you can see it. Now I just got to figure out how to do this. So I've cut a little bit here. I can't hot glue this on. So I'm just going to be taking some of my pins here and poking it in. That's a good thing about styrofoam. And I hopefully I got this cut correctly. I'm probably going to have to cut a little bit more off the top. But I love how this looks so far. And I am blinging this up. It is going to be more of a shabby chic glam witch hat. So if I don't like this to look like white pearls on here, I can always put some black paint on it. But I think I'm going to leave them white because I am going to be adding some more pearls to this. All right, so I'm going to continue on and get this attached. And then I'm going to be adding some more feathers. Yes, feathers on every project. Black raven's feathers. All right, here it is. I think this looks really pretty. And you're not going to see anything down there because my feathers are going to be covering everything on the brim of the witch hat. All right, so what I have is this black boa that I got off of Amazon, and it's something, you know, for you to wear with your Halloween costume, but I don't recommend it. I will put the link down below because I think it's great for crafting, but it sheds like crazy. And that's just me pulling it out of the bag, not without me even cutting, because I have to cut this, but it is like all over the place right now. So I'm going to cut it to size and just hot glue it on. You can see it has been shedding here. I'm just trying to figure out what direction and how I want to do this. Just going to go ahead and tack it down here because this is more kind of like the back of the hat because I'm only going to be bling up one side of it. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on getting this glued down. And then we'll be adding the rest of the bling. All right, here it is, all done. I think this looks really pretty. So I also have this black glitter tool that I also got off of Amazon. I'll have the link down below for that. I am just going to gather it up. I'm not sure how thick I want this to be. Do some gathers here. So I want to place it right here. Let's do a few more. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here. Okay. And this also sheds too. I'm just taking a thin wire, floral wire that I have, and I'm just going to wrap it around the bottom because this is the part that I'm going to hot glue on to the hat. So let's make sure I get this on here really tight. Here we go. A few more twists. All right, there, that looks really pretty. So this is going to be the front side of the hat, and I'm just going to hot glue this down here, like so. So let's get that going real quick. Make sure I have lots of glue down there. There we go. That looks real pretty. And I also made this bow out of some Harlequin ribbon that I have. I'm gonna hot glue that on too. Like that. There we go. And I have these cute little pearl, I got some rhinestone on them. This is from the His and Hers collection at Hobby Lobby. Just going to cut this to size here. They have some really pretty things there. It was 40% off when I got it. That's the only reason I got these. Hey, what happened to Hobby Lobby having the 50% off of things? I don't know what's going on with that, why they switched to 40% on some. Fortunately, my bow was in the wrong spot, so I had to pull it off. So let's go ahead and get this back where I want it. There we go. That looks really pretty. And I'm going to use 2 of these blush colored roses. I wish I had a white one that was the right size, but I only have cream and blush and mauve. So I'm going to do 2 of these. I want to cut down the stems a little bit more on the back, make them more flatter. Just going to put these in. And put one right there. And let's get some glue on the other one. And put this one right here. All right, I also have these little tulle pieces that have the pearls. I've cut them down. This is also from the His and Hers collection. I'm going to use 3 of these. I'm going to put one right there. Okay. And let's put this one over here on this side. And this one on the other side. There we go. I may add one more of these right here. I'll have to think about it. I think I will. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and add one of those at the end. Now, this is also from the His and Hers collection too. I love these teardrop looking pearls, and I didn't know what I'd use it for, but I'm actually going to take one of the biggest ones off of here because these are beads. They have the hole all the way through. So you just have to cut it off. I'm just going to cut it off here. Okay. And you just have to cut it at the end. You got plenty of room to put a wire through it. So I went ahead and put that down there, and I have an orangey, glittery looking bead here, a bling one, and the teardrop one. I think this looks so pretty. And here's how this turned out. Now let's see how they all look together. And I went ahead and added my little light behind it as different colors. I thought purple would be the best. I have this in my shabby chic room on the dresser. That'd be kind of pretty in here. Just kind of go through the details. I think this is a real pretty display to have all these together, and this also coordinates with all of my other glam Halloween decor that I have, because I like to use the blacks and silvers and things with pearls and rhinestones. All right, my sweet friends, that's going to do it for the video today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and please give me a big thumbs up, and don't forget about that giveaway. One more time, here it is. It's for that $50 Amazon gift card. Just make sure that you comment on each video in the playlist, and again, I have that playlist link down below in my description box. On my video, just please comment which project you like the best. I want to wish everybody a very wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.